Okay, y'all. This is what my Winlator CMod is whenever you are inside the app. I've just posted it onto my Facebook page from around 20 minutes ago. And you can make as many containers as you want in here as long as you always have enough storage for it. But this one is for my my high-end powered retro game PC container. I just named a retro game PC because this is what I'm going to keep on using for lower end retro games like Doom, Doom 2, Quake, Quake 2, the original Unreal Tournament game, which is almost completely okay, what I meant to say is that also games like my Unreal Tournament, which is almost completely impossible to find on the internet. My Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic for Windows. Seriously old emulators like a Senius 9X, for example, and shit like that, man. I set the screen size to 1280 by 720, which is 16 by 9. I can't set it to a lower wine version because whenever you have it on that one version, will be what version of wine it'll be using. And whenever you boot up the app for the first time, it installs all the system files so it can easily tell which settings to automatically set for your containers that will obviously always have the best performance with running everything on your Android device at, well, not everything, but with my running low-end Windows programs like the original Quake game and a lower-end Windows game like Disney's Toontown, for example. Which, like I said, if you do not have at least a gig of DR3 RAM and running at least Android 7 Nougat on your Android device with at least 28 gigs of storage, then do not bother using this emulator. Oh yeah, then for the CPU thing, the dual core CPU having to run at least a gigahertz is no joke. Because the way how this emulator is made is always made better than this other Windows emulator that's called Exagear, which almost does not work at all anymore, believe it or not. I have never used Exagear on Android. I've always used emulators like this one, to be honest. But way before this emulator had came around, there was my Wine for Android, which is the official Android version of Wine, by the same company that's also the same developers of Wine for Linux. There's all that. Yeah, it can handle any of the Ryzen GPUs that are emulated. Because all the GPUs on here are obviously emulated. Video memory set on 2048, which is equal to 2 gigs. It's just to run at least 2 programs. 2 lower end programs at once is all that is for. There's that. I've already configured my drives, which automatically did that for me anyway. I couldn't disable the CPU 7, but it's fine though. Reason why I couldn't disable is because of the blue check mark right here that saves what you have set in your container before you load it up. Let's load it up. So I can show y'all how it's like to use a completely portable Windows experience, which I don't ever use a completely accurate Windows emulator from my only Windows device. Because I always use a Windows device on my own. And y'all have already saw that I have one of my own. That is a Nextbook Windows tablet PC from the year 2018. Alright, give it enough time it needs to start up and to automatically pull up the file manager program in a window, which is what it always does. And here you have it. Yeah, it always requires you to keep your Windows programs in your downloads folder, or or else it will not detect it. Here's one game I tried to get working from last night, but it would not boot up. It will not have completely pulled up. It would show up in the task manager. But yeah, here it is right here. Sonic Time Twisted, which is a fan-made version of all the OG Sonic the Hedgehog games from the Sega Genesis era is what this is. I found this for free on itch.io right here. And the only way how you can download software from itch.io is that you gotta have an account of your own made on a website itself. Which always works the same way as how Steam always works. The official Steam website and the Steam client. I don't ever use my Steam in the form of a website. I always use it in the form of a client like what everybody else does. You can't do anything in Steam through the website itself. It's not possible. You gotta always use the official Steam client and always keep up to date. That's just simple common sense for simple PC gaming. And Linux gaming as well. But of course, the original Steam client had came out for Windows first. Then a year later, well, actually, for it on in 2008, it finally came out for Linux. Steam came out for Windows back in 2003, believe it or not. The official Steam client. But yeah, you click on your program as so by double tapping on your screen. Give us enough time as it needs to pull up. In order to get out of your container, you gotta do this. Click exit, and then it'll shut down the container and go back to the homepage of the emulator where all your containers are at. Here's your task manager, and then your debug terminal. But yeah, you do this. You don't need to close out your file manager where you're at in there, because you can easily go back into it at any time. As long as you've done everything that you need to and want to on there first. And of course, like as always on the computer, always save your work before you shut down your computer. Because these emulated containers right here work like an actual Windows PC. So you click exit like so. Shuts it down. And there you go. you're back to your home screen. Any emulator, you can boot right back up into your container at any time. Because these containers are actually made for more than just running a single program. It's completely pointless to only do it for one single program. Like what my YouTube content creators do in Winlator CMod. Just to be able to run one single game from Steam, like my Grand Theft Auto 5, for example. There's no need for that. Just create one container that you can run multiple, that you're able to run all your games on in just one section, or just all of them in general. There's no need for you to create one container for that one game, which is complete stupidity. And if you don't think so, then you will see what I mean whenever it eats up more and more storage on your Android device. I know what I'm talking about because I use Linux since I was 6, which was back in 2007. Don't tell me that I'm wrong about this stuff, because I can always prove you wrong. I mean, that's just for all the people that don't agree, of course. Alrighty. This is JBM 111. Well, yeah. Y'all know who I am. Why I meant, this is JBM 111, who is a completely new Twitch streamer on Twitch, and I will get to doing my first Twitch stream next month. As one my dad has already promised with getting me a new SIM card. He has already planned to help me with that from my last Sunday.